So we just had the season 3 build come out today. We got a bunch of new content and a couple of new things on the dirt side, which we're going to be covering in this video. So stick around. What's up, everybody? Thomas Brandon here. Thank you very much as always for joining me. Like I said, we're going to be talking about the new content that we got on the dirt side of things here in iRacing heading into season 3. Now, you've been following me for any length of time. You know that heading into this season's build, I was really hoping to see a lot of improvement to the actual dirt cars themselves. You guys have all heard kind of my thoughts and feelings on, the dirt midget, the wing sprint car, stuff like that. Although I do think that they are definitely steps in the right direction, I think there's room for improvement, and I was really hoping we would see that on this build, but unfortunately we didn't. Now, that being said, that does not mean we didn't get some really cool stuff, which we did. And I'm actually looking forward to running a whole lot more dirt stuff this season. And there's a couple of things that I think are going to be really, really cool. And one of them is going to be obviously the new track, Port Royal. So I got to actually go out, turn some laps at Port Royal. Now, instead of me just going out and turning laps by myself in every dirt car that there is, I went out and I turned some laps in the 410 wing sprint, the dirt lay model, the non-wing sprint car. I didn't do the midget. I can just tell you from the laps that I did in the sprint car, it's going to be too big for the dirt midgets. The midgets, to me, the half-mile tracks are just too big for them. The track doesn't slick off enough yet. If the track got a lot more slick, I think the racing would be much better in the dirt midgets. But because the track stays so tacky, when we run at those big half-mile tracks, the racing is just kind of follow the leaders. So I didn't even bother testing it out in the dirt midgets, but the other cars I did. And I've recorded a little bit of footage. Now, I actually also ran a race in the Wing 360. Now, this was the week 13 race. There was no heat races. It was just qualifying and then the feature, and the track, it was super tacky in the feature. And so we didn't get a chance to really check out all of the potential lines that could be there. But I will tell you, the track overall is really, really cool. I definitely like it. Now, in terms of a comparison, when I was driving it, it kind of feels like a mix between like Williams Grove and Fairbury. And what I mean by that is it's wide. You've got long straights with tighter corners. And then it's got almost like Fairbury type banking. It's obviously more than Fairbury, but the bottom is like flat. The middle's got some banking, and then it kind of, it progresses as you get out towards the wall. Now, it's not like super high banked. It's not like an outdoor. It's nothing like that. But it does have some banking, and it progresses out towards the wall. One of the things that I definitely noticed in the race that I was doing is I do think we're going to see a couple of distinct lines, or potentially some distinct lines that can open up, and we won't know for sure until we get into official races with heats and stuff like that, to where the track will slick off and we can see those lines develop more. But I do think we're going to see potential cut down lines, specifically 1 and 2. I think there's going to be a cut down line that can be really possible, like a diamond line that can be there and potentially fast. And then also, I do think we'll see kind of a slider line that will develop in 3 and 4 that can be good. Now, like I always talk about, the way that the track is raced in, all throughout the session, right? Qualifying, heat races, all of it is going to really determine how a lot of those lines open up. The tracks do where, there's kind of a pattern to it, but a lot of it has to do with where people are driving and stuff like that. So it won't be just set in stone, this is the way you run it. But overall, I thought it was a really racy track, and I actually really enjoyed it. The top, even when the track was tacky, you could run the bottom, the top, or kind of the middle, and you could hang with other people. Yes, there were lines that were going to be faster at certain points during the track state, but overall it wasn't like you were just like 0.2 of a second slower if you were on the top and someone was on the bottom. So that was really, really cool. I definitely like Port Royal, and I think it's going to be a really fun track. So hats off to iRacing for that. Good job on it. Anytime we can get new dirt content, I'm all for it. So definitely cool that we got Port Royal, and I'm looking forward to racing that. Now, along with Port Royal, we actually didn't get new content in terms of, a new car or another track or an update or anything like that. But we did get 2 new racing series that are going to be starting this next season. So if you are wondering why I am now in different clothes, I had done a video yesterday right after the dirt content came out, which is the first part of this video, and then the second part I talked about the new dirt late model tour series and the sprint car tour series, and in that part of the video I covered some things that I didn't like about it, mainly the fact that the schedule for it was going to be every day, every 2 hours, right? So it was going to basically be running like a regular official series. Fortunately, that's not the case. And fortunately, I was wrong because iRacing put out the incorrect schedule. So that's why looking a little bit different than the first part of this video. But the good thing is now we've got the right schedule, so we can take a look at it and cover what's going to be happening with this new tour series. So let's check it out. First things first, this is the schedule that was put out on the iRacing forum. Season 3 for 2022. This is the PDF that they put out every season at this time during week 13. And you can see here races every odd 2 hours at 45 past. So basically this was every day, every 2 hours, which would make it like a regular official series. And for me, this was not a good thing, because when you are looking to try to get 48 drivers per split, if it was just every 2 hours, it's not a big deal, right? People aren't going to make it a point to be there. And fortunately, like I said, the good thing is that it's not that. This is the correct schedule right here. So this follows kind of the NIS style series, and that's really, really cool. Okay, so obviously there's way more pros with this than cons. Now, the one con that I do have is that these are apparently fixed. It's supposed to be a fixed series. From my understanding, this where it says fixed, that's still correct. Whether or not that is, I don't know, because it doesn't say here whether or not it's fixed or open. So only time will tell on that if that's correct. But in terms of because like here you can see it doesn't say fixed or open, it doesn't say anything, so I don't know. Okay, but regardless, the good thing is that it is only running 4 times a week, which is awesome, and that's exactly what we want to see, because this is going to make it much more urgent, right? If you only have a chance to run it 4 times a week, then you're gonna do what you can do to make those races. You know what I mean? Like, and that's going to give us the opportunity to really fill up these field sizes. Okay, because if we get 48 cars, because the format is really, really cool, and that's something I really like. So you can see here we've got 4 for the sprint cars, 4 8-lap heat races. Awesome. Top 5 advance. So if there's 48 cars, it's going to be 4 12-car heat races. Love it. Caution laps do not count, which is fine with me. Caution laps don't need to count during the heat races. C main 10 laps, which is awesome. Than the fact that the sprint cars are doing the stack constellations, because that's what they do in real life. So that's great. Top 4 transfer to the B main, and then you've got B main 12 laps, top 4 transfer to the feature, and then the feature is 24 cars, 30 laps. I would have liked to have seen 35 laps for the sprint cars, but that's just my own personal preference. I understand why they did 30. A lot of people don't realize, especially those who don't follow the World of Outlaws that much in real life, that they don't always run 30 laps and they don't always run 35 laps. There's a lot of times they run only 25 lap features, right? It depends on the track, it depends on the event and stuff like that. So 30 laps is kind of that medium, median, I should say, not medium, median number, where it kind of splits the difference. So 30 laps is cool. I'm happy with that, and I'm really happy to see this format. Now, in terms of the times here, on Wednesday, you've got 2 shots at it for the sprint cars, 9 p.m. Eastern and 5 p.m. Eastern. which is essentially back to back. Well, I shouldn't say that. This says Tuesday. So why this is in the Wednesday slot doesn't make any sense. Okay, so you don't have 2 shots on it on Wednesday. You've got 2 shots of it. You got 1 shot of it on Wednesday, 1 shot on Tuesday, and then Thursday, and then Sunday, okay, at 6 a.m. Eastern. Looking at this, these are pretty much times that we see the most cars in terms of car count when it comes to the sprint cars. I know when I'm doing official racing, when I'm live streaming and stuff like that, it's usually around these times that I see, you know, the biggest splits. Okay, so that's really cool. And I also really like the fact that they didn't do it on Mondays, because as we know, Mondays is the big, you know, strength of field day where everybody comes out and tries to get their weight race in for the week, the official race in for the week, and that's where we see all those splits and all those cars and stuff like that. So cool, and definitely happy with that. On the late models, you got 4 10-lap heat races, and the top 5 advance to the feature. Now, with 48 cars, it's going to be the same thing as the sprint cars, right? You've got 4 12-car heat races, right? So top 5 advance. C main is 12 laps, so 2 more laps than the sprint cars. Top 4 transfer to B, and then B main is 14 laps. Top 4 transfer to the feature. So that's really, really cool. Happy with that as well. And then you've got 24 cars, and then 75 laps for the feature. Now that, when I saw that, that was really interesting, because if you watch late models, and they do run a lot of higher lap races, you know, 100 lap races and stuff like that, but they also run a lot of 30 and 40 lap races. And so how they landed on 75, I'm not really sure. I think 75 laps at some of the tracks, when you consider you've got tracks on there like Bristol, those are going to be some long races. So the fact that they did it where it's just 4 times a week is much, much better. Because like I said, if this was going to be running, and you guys you're not hearing, you don't know, like I said, because I said it in a part of the video that you guys aren't seeing. So I guess I don't know why I keep bringing that up. But anyways, I had said in the previous recording that I didn't like this idea, because every 2 hours people weren't going to show up. It was going to just turn into the beginning of the week when it first does it, people will show up, run it, and then the rest of the week it's going to be nothing. With this, it's going to make it to where you can find, 1 or 2 slots a week that you can make, run it, or if you have an issue, it gives you a shot later in the week to bounce back and run it. So I really, really like that. And I really like the fact that they take into consideration people who run both cars. As you can see, it's staggered. So each day of the week, they've got it to where you can run either the late model or the sprint car. And to me, that's probably the best part about it, is that there's nothing conflicting, which makes it really, really nice. And you've got one of these races every single day, minus Mondays, which once again gives you a chance to do one of these big dirt races, per day, which is awesome. All right, you guys, so that's going to do it all for this video. Like I said at the beginning of it, just want to give you guys kind of a quick overview of my thoughts on the new content. We had a bunch of stuff drop today, and there's plenty of stuff to review. And on the dirt side, we just got the new series and the new track. We didn't get anything else really, so just wanted to kind of combine it into one video and just go over and give you my thoughts on it. So yeah, not what all of us were hoping for, but you know what, things are still great, right? iRacing Dirt, there's nothing else out there that even comes close. If this was a bracket for a tournament, iRacing would be a 1 seed, and I don't even know who would fill out the rest of the bracket, right? So it's still the best dirt sim in my opinion. Yes, it can get better, but when you compare it to others, it's not even close. So got a new track, we got a couple new series, that's awesome. And hey, maybe we'll get some patches, maybe we'll get some updates throughout the season. You never know. If not, we've always got the next build to look forward to, and that's only 3 months away. These things go by really, really fast. So you know what, we'll wait and see. But for this season, pretty good, I'll take it. And yeah, that's it. So that's gonna do it thank you guys as always. Now really quick, do me a favor, if you like this, hit that like button, share it, subscribe, all that other good stuff. Get that out the way quick. Also, if you want to check out any of the stuff that we got going on at schoolofsimracing.net, just head over there, link down in the description below, or just go to schoolofsimracing.net and then click on the button join community. We've got free setups, all kinds of bunch of free stuff. I got a ton of free stuff coming, man. Now that I've got a lot more time, we just brought on a new builder for the insider program. He's going to be doing all the short track oval stuff, you know, the super late models, the SK mods, the legends. We've never had legends before. We're going to be having legends now with our new builder Kent. So it's really cool, man, and that gives me a lot more time to do a lot of other really cool stuff. And one of those things is putting more free content on the free membership site. So if you want to check any of that stuff out, links for all that down in the description below. Lastly, if you want to join the winner's circle, you can check that out down below as well. It just helps support the community, you know, gives me a chance to do more stuff like this, get more stuff, you know, done for you guys, more, whether it's building setups or training videos or whatever, right? So if you want to check any of that stuff out, links for everything down in the description below. But that's going to do it. Thank you guys very much, as always, for joining me. Until next time, I want to wish you good luck, good racing. Take care.